Hey, it's Trimblade here, and I'm going to touch on some cool news that came out recently. Anybody who's followed me for any length of time probably knows I pretty much got my start in doing all this through MechWarrior. My first online game was MechWarrior 3. I used to play in the combat zone or battle zone, whatever they called it, and was in a league for CZ leagues and all that. And then that moved into MechWarrior 4, which kinda was a pretty lame game. Vengeance, I think it was, and the Black Knight expansion. Then when the MechWarrior 4 Mercs expansion came out, things got a lot more in-depth. MechWarrior Leagues was big at the time. This was around 98, 99. And that's actually what got me into League play on a bigger level. I joined a couple different teams over the years and played in organized play. And it just became a whole huge thing. And one of the cool things about MechWarrior Leagues was that it had what they called at the time, shoutcasters, which was live play-by-play coverage of various matches in the different league ladders as they were taking place, and they would broadcast it on a radio stream. And then that broke down later into radio shows and various things like that, which eventually came to be known as podcasting. This was years before anybody did podcasting, and I got my start as a shoutcaster doing play-by-play coverage, and then eventually moved on to being a co-host on a show with DJ Adler, which I cannot remember the name of that show for the life of me. It's drawing me a blank. But eventually I went on to create the MechWarrior Underground Racing League for myself, and then we did all of our own shoutcasts and things over there, and that turned into my reboot of Checkered Flag, which was a podcast I did for a while, and a couple other shows that Hex, my wife, and I did together. And so MechWarrior has been a huge part of my life, and to see that they're finally, after 18 years going on with a MechWarrior 5 is just amazing. And MechWarrior Online came out in the meantime, and while it was a good game, it was more like World of Tanks. It's more of a team deathmatch type thing, where MechWarrior in general, the series, has always been about the campaign play. Most notably, people made patches for co-op play and things, which is really cool. We did the league play and things, but it was just a lot more open and versatile. You got to pick what you wanted to do. In MechWarrior Online, you have to save up, buy the mechs and things. It's kind of like the campaign was, but you're in a PvP world. Where in the other MechWarrior games in PvP, you used to have access to everything in the game, and it was all about what you decided to build and what you decided to customize. In League play, depending on the various leagues, you're restricted in how much weight you could bring on a drop. So you could bring multiple smaller mechs, or some of the leagues, like we played in a 3v3, where it randomly picked, you had to have 2 lights and a medium on your team. And then you got to build whatever you wanted among that. And it was really cool because we would go and have practice and try different loadouts and see what worked and scrimmage against our own team. And anyway, the new game here looks great. It's got the look and feel from the trailer here of MechWarrior Online. They went with the new graphics engine that they've been using for that game, and it looks stunning. I'm really hoping they have a solid campaign that's really going to drive the game, and from what we see in the trailer, it looks alright.
Base command to Shadowhawk
701. And I hope they can live up to the hype. Like I said, MechWarrior 4, when it first came out, was kind of lame. Mercenaries did a lot better job of fixing the problems with that game. And then MechTech is really the saving grace. Their homemade patches and custom things that they did, they added over 100 new mechs and weapons and things to the game, really added life and kept that game alive. And there's my Raven, that's my favorite mech. I'm sure there's a few people out there who already knew that, but can't wait to get my hands on one of those again. I actually own one in MechWarrior Online too. Anyway, yeah, I hope this game just gets back to what we had with MechWarrior 4 Mercs and all of the MechTech expansions. If they can bring a lot of that feel back in, the variety, most notably the thing that this game has to have to make it successful, and MechWarrior Online didn't, which is part of the reason a lot of the old MechWarrior 4 fans don't play that as much, is the customization as far as the game itself goes. Sure, you can strip down a mech and tweak out the weapons however you want them and things, that's fine. It's the modding community. People in MechWarrior 4 made custom skins, we made custom maps, thanks to J-Ho over at MechTech.
Good job,
we created the Mech Racing League and basically made an entirely new game type with the Mech Racing by using scripting and things for the maps. They also made things like MechRugby, which was kind of like basically playing football. It was a center flag game. You had to pick up the flag and take it to your opponent, or back to your goal.
Return to the hangar and
your opponents were basically trying to do the same. So it was an interesting thing there. But yeah, it's the player-made mods and things to the game that really drive the community and kept it alive for so long. There's a NBT Net Battle or something like that. I can't remember anymore. It's been too long. But they have a role-playing type league where they literally play storylines and things specific from the BattleTech universe. They have factions, and they battle over locations on planets and whatnot, and they have to move resources back and forth between the planets and things like that. It's a really complicated thing, but for the people who are into that, that's amazing, and that's what keeps them interested in the game. And hopefully, MechWarrior 5 here can deliver on that. We're going to have to wait until we see more, but from what I've seen in the trailer, really excited about it, and can't wait to get my hands on it. Anyway, keep an eye out for more videos like this as soon as we get more information, and we'll see you then.